Hey, how's it going, you guys? This is your boy Rob Boom coming back to you with another video. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, please consider hitting subscribe. If you like what you see so far, go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and share it with all your friends and family and everybody else around the world. Alright, you guys, today we're going to be talking about movies. It's technically not movies, it's more like TV related, but they're all kind of like in the same vein. You know, they all exist in the same plane or realm and stuff like that. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Woo! With the departure of David Benioff and DB Weiss from the Star Wars franchise, it has set a ripple effect across the internet that has people wondering what's happening to Star Wars and what's in store for Netflix. And does this affect Game of Thrones at all? But before we dive into that, first, a brief history on the dynamic duo. Benioff and Weiss met at the prestigious Trinity College in Dublin, with ambition to become novel writers. Soon after, the two would go on to have promising careers. Benioff had an instant commercial success when his thesis was made into a movie titled 25th Hour, while Weiss misfired a bit with projects that unfortunately never got to see the light of day. But with these humble beginnings, it would ultimately lead the dynamic duo to a point, place, and time to pitch Game of Thrones that would ultimately become a global phenomenon. Everything seemed to be rainbows and butterflies, but then unfortunately the series finale of Game of Thrones came by and woof. The final season of Game of Thrones was lackluster at best. With its rushed pace and lack of organic storytelling, the ending fell short of fans' expectations. Unfortunately, this thorn would follow them because fans would not let them forget. But this didn't seem to affect them at all. The dynamic duo got offered one of the most lucrative and high-grossing franchises in history. Star Wars! The two got the attention of Kathleen Kennedy, the current head of Lucasfilms. The two were approached by Kathleen Kennedy to produce a series of films that would later be announced as the next trilogy in the Star Wars franchise. But the bright and brilliant franchise was having trouble of its own, with directors being fired, writers being let go and replaced, and projects being completely cancelled. But despite all that, they've had commercial success. Granted, all the recent movies of Star Wars, except for Rogue One, have lacked the soul of Star Wars. That's right. I said it. Come at me, bro. Things were looking bleak for the Star Wars future, but there was light at the end of the tunnel, with the dynamic duo arriving to set things straight. But like all good fairy tales, there's always a big bad wolf. Cue in ominous cinematic music. That's right, Netflix. This giant has taken Hollywood by storm and has made all of the big studios bend the knee and force them to change. And as all good giants do, they tend to gobble up everything in their path. That includes talent. They've partnered with big names such as Martin Scorsese and Michael Bay. So why not two of the biggest fantasy writers in the industry today? David Benioff and DB Weiss were offered a whopping $250 million contract to do creative TV and film work over a span of 5 years. For $250 million, I would leave just about any franchise. You name it, I'd probably leave it. Unless if it was like really enticing and it spoke to my creative soul. You know, like, I gotta tell this story. And so, with that being said, where does Game of Thrones fit in all this? Well, it really doesn't. It has no place. Like they have nothing to do with Game of Thrones anymore. Just recently, HBO announced that they were going to cancel a prequel of Game of Thrones that's set 1,000 years in the past for a prequel that's set 300 years in the past, which is cool, which is solid, but still, the dynamic duo have nothing to do with these new Game of Thrones. So you're safe there, everybody. You can relax. Take a deep breath. And thus ends the tale of the dynamic duo. From my perspective. But seriously, guys, on a different note, I just want to state that these two guys are very talented writers. Just because they didn't stick the landing on Game of Thrones doesn't mean that they're bad writers, and that doesn't mean that they went into this looking at it as, you know what, I'm gonna mess this up. It's kind of hard to stick landings sometimes. It doesn't work out all the time, but you know, you can't just discredit them because of the last season. You gotta look at the whole entire series. And all the way up to season 7, it was spectacular work. Amazing, amazing work. And I think they would have done a great job with Star Wars. But with all of that being said, that's my humble opinion. You guys, let me know what you guys think. Drop some comments down below. Talk to me. Let's have a conversation about this. Am I completely wrong? Are they going to mess up Netflix? Is Star Wars doomed? Thumbs up if you liked this video. Thumbs down if you didn't. Constructive criticism is always welcome. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, because there's more of these coming out on a weekly basis. I want to thank everybody who's made it all the way to the end of this episode and has watched everything. And yeah, I think that's it, right? That's it. There's nobody here with me. I'm all by myself. All right. As always, you guys, this is your boy Rob Boom coming to you with another video. And now I'm leaving this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Much love.